Alright, so question 2 is a minimum and maximum problem. So they've given you the surface area for a cylinder. They've given you that rule. And they've also given you the value for volume. So now the first part is show that the surface area is equal to that equation when the volume is 52 pi. So let's start with volume. What's the volume of a cylinder? What's the equation for volume of a cylinder?
2 pi r.
Yeah,
R
2.
squared H.
It's pi r squared h. Yeah. It's the area of the cross section, which is the circle, times the height. Okay, so what we have here is we're going to substitute 54 pi, because that's the volume of the cylinder, and that equals to pi r squared h. If you look at the equation for surface area, you're missing a letter. So what letter are we missing?
H.
H. So what do we make the subject if we're missing that letter? H. So we make H the subject. So that means H equals to 54 pi over pi r squared, which means I can cancel out the pi. Yeah, so it's 54 on r squared. Okay, so now we have H. Let's go and substitute it back into that rule there. Surface area was originally 2 pi r. That's fine. We'll leave it as is. And it's 2 pi r h. So instead of h, we replace it with 54 over r squared. So that's 2 pi r times 54 over r squared. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simplify it. So 2 times 54 is 108. Pi stays as is, and the r's cancel out. So we have just one r left here, and that cancels out. Okay, so we've done the first part. So now we have an equation. So what this tells us is we have an equation for surface area that has no height. So this equation has only r. So when we're finding the minimum, or we're finding the radius that gives us the minimum surface area, what's the first thing we do?
Find out.
Huh?
Derive.
We derive it, yes. So
I was going to say right away.
So we derive it. So this is going to be, what's the derivative of 2 pi r squared?
4 pi.
Yeah. So when we're deriving this, 2 pi is a constant term. We leave that as is, and we're just deriving the r, so that's times 2r. What about 108 pi on r? Bless you. Yeah, times negative r squared, was it? Yes, no? Now I'm changing this to index form first to make it easier for us. There we go. Is that much easier to derive?
When you wrote s equals 2 pi r, how come you changed it to r squared?
I'm going to change it to that.
When you first wrote s on
Same way.
All good.
And you're going to about the other two, don't you?
No, you mean
Yes, this one too.
And the one underneath it?
And that one as well. All good.
So it's minus
Yeah.
108.
So it's just 2 pi plus minus,
Minus 108.
yeah, so 2 pi minus 108 pi r
squared.
negative
Okay.
negative 2, because
Yep.
1 down from negative 1 is negative 2. Okay, so that's our derivative. So what do we do with derivative when we're finding minimum and maximum? We make it equal to 0. So we make it equal to 0. I can take this to the other side. So I'm just taking 108 pi r to the minus 2 to the other side. Equals 2 pi. That's 108 pi on r squared equals 2 pi. I'm going to cancel out the pi's, pi symbols, and I'm going to times the r to the other side, and with the r squared to the other side.
Why?
Huh?
Why not just do
Well, we can divide by 2 now. So we'll divide it by 2, so it's 54. So r squared equals to 54, so r is going to be equal to the positive and negative solution of root 54, which,
But it's radius, so isn't it positive?
yeah, so that's the next part. Next part is because it's radius, then my phone goes off. Because it's radius, it's positive. And now what you have to do is you just need to use table of values. Just to conclude this, use the table of values.
Second derivative.
You can use second derivative if you want. Use table of values or second derivative. Second derivative can work because it's not too messy. Table of values to determine nature. Once you determine its nature and it's indeed a minimum turning point, substitute sub r equals root 54 into original,
Why is it a plus or minus?
because it's radius is a length, so length can't be negative. Okay. So substitute into the original question, and then that's done.
I got
Ding.
7.34.
No, it's the other one.